here. So today I wanted to do a video on plain blade versus serrated blade. Let me hold both of these up for you here. So the reason I picked both of these is they're both Benchmade Griptilians. They're the same size, essentially the same weight, same blade length. So it's kind of the age-old question, gets to be a pretty heated debate of which one's better. Is plain better? Is serrated better? Is full serrated better? Is combo better? And really everybody has their own opinion, and I will let you know at the end of this video what my opinion on this is. So this isn't a definite video, as to which one you should have, just more of a thought-provoking video, maybe give you some thoughts or hints or things you didn't think about if you're trying to decide or debating on one versus the other. So like I said, these are both Benchmade Griptilians. This one here, the serrated one, my left hand is 154 cm. The one in my right hand is 20 CV steel. They're essentially very similar and almost the same in weight. I believe the plain blade is just a little bit heavier because of the G10 handles, I believe. Otherwise, they're essentially the same weight, not really noticeable. So what kind of instances is a plain blade better in? Plain blade is probably the most versatile. It's what most people carry for everyday carry. It can take care of pretty much any situation if it's sharp. That brings me to another point in that these are a lot easier to sharpen. You can sharpen serrated, you can get really good at sharpening serrated, and you can get pretty quick at them. But most people don't, or they can't, one or the other, or a combination of. They definitely produce a little bit more of a cleaner cut, unless it's razor sharp, the serrated. But in general, they produce cleaner cuts. Plain blade is really better at cutting paper. Delicate cuts, small cuts, thin cloth or string. And just remember, these are assuming that your serrated blade is not razor sharp. Now the cons on the plain blade is it's rough to cut through tougher materials such as rope. Now you can do it if your blade is razor sharp. Now seat belts, if your blade is pretty sharp, it'll cut through it, pretty easily. Now thick rope, it's more difficult, just because it doesn't have that bite. But if you keep it super sharp, you can do it, almost as easy. So as far as full serrated, so I don't have any full serrated. I only have partial serrated. But a full serrated is good on tough materials, rope, seat belts, that type of thing. That's why firemen, police often will have a full serrated. I actually do. I have one on my Leatherman Charge TTI. It has a plain blade and a serrated blade. I forgot about that. I use it sometimes, but not that often. And it usually ends up that I use it for tough materials like rope, that type of thing. But anyway, it's good on those tough materials, keeps an edge longer than plain blade in general. That may be because it's not used as often. Full serrated blade does come in handy, and it cuts super well. I've sharpened it a few times, but I really haven't had to touch it up because it's not an everyday use one really for me. Cons of full serrated are that they don't really make super clean cuts unless it's very sharp. If it's razor sharp, it'll push cut just as well as plain blade, but it has to be razor sharp. Also with that is that it's harder to maintain a full serrated blade. You can get very good at it and you can get pretty quick at it, but most people don't, or they can't, or a combination of them. That makes it less useful in more situations because most people don't maintain their serrated blades because they're kind of a pain in the butt. You gotta get ceramic rods, or you can get a tapered sharpener. They just take a little bit more time. So next one really is combo blade. That's the main one that I have, other than the one full serrated on my Leatherman Charge TTI, I believe. Combo blades I do like. The pros is you really do have the best of both worlds with it. You don't have to carry two knives, especially if you do a lot of different variety of tasks. You cut paper, you cut string, you cut tags, you cut cardboard, you cut rope, seat belts, heavy zip ties. Small zip ties, they're easily cut with a plain blade, easily cut with a serrated, but those thick zip ties, the serrated works really well because you can saw that zip tie a little bit and cut right through it. The cons of a combo blade is you kind of lose the length for both. You have half plain, half serrated. So if you're trying to cut a piece of heavy rope or a thick belt and you're sawing it back and forth, you only have about an inch of serration to saw back and forth. Now if you're trying to cut something, a clean cut, a slice, you know, like a thick plastic bag of some type, you can cut that with serrated or you can cut with plain, but if you're trying to cut it with plain, you only have half the blade. You may kind of come down here and get hung up if you're not keeping this serrated really sharp. So it's kind of a downside for it. But those are really the main points, I think, of plain blade versus combo or serrated. So like I said, I don't really think there's a best choice. It depends on what your daily needs are, what your uses are. I think it's more important that you have a knife on you all the time. In general, having a knife is better than not having a knife of whatever type it is. My favorite in general, I would have to say, would be a plain blade. Just because of the ease of sharpening, you can get it a lot sharper, or I can. Even though I'm getting much better at doing the serrations, as well as the plain blade on a serrations, it's a little more difficult to sharpen, but I'm getting there. But sometimes, you know, out doing things, trying to cut thick rope, and I'm glad I had this on me because you can just saw right through that. So it definitely comes in useful and definitely comes in helpful. But if I had to only pick one, I would pick the plain blade. This would come in a close second. Now this one is the drop point. That's my favorite type and shape of blade. This one was originally a tanto. I filed it down and changed the shape because I don't like sheep's foot blades and I don't like tanto blades. Just something about them, they don't cut as well, I don't think. They're a little bit, especially the tanto, is a little kind of a pain in the butt to sharpen. Not so much as sheep's foot, but I don't really like tantos. My favorite one is the plain blade, but the serrations do come in super useful sometimes. So, all right guys, anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on this, get you all thinking, see what you think. But definitely, if you would, comment below, let me know which one is your favorite, plain versus serrated. Let me know below if you would. And as always, if you would, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Have a good day.